Hey, ladies and gents, let's jump right into it so that this video is not extremely long, but yet efficient. Okay, I'm going to be showing you all how to file your 2016 tax return using the H&R Block software. This video will cover filing a business within your tax return. So you'll be using a Schedule C. That is the sole purpose of this video. However, as a person who does not have a business, you can also look at this video and see how to file your tax return. Now, I am using the H&R Block Premium software, which is the software that allows you to file your tax return with a business, such as a LLC or sole proprietor. This is not the one you would use if you are incorporated. And also, I will put a link in the description box so that you guys can go over to the H&R Block website and purchase the necessary software. Or if you are an individual who has dependents but is not trying to file for a business, you are able to go onto the H&R Block website and file for free. I know they have some income limits. I'm not exactly sure what that is, but it will tell you when you log on to create your account. Okay, let's get started here, guys. I've downloaded the software, and the software will cost you anywhere between $55 to about $80, okay, which is much cheaper than paying someone $500, $400, or even $200 to do your tax return. And this way you can make sure you're getting all of the credits and deductions because this software will walk you through it. Okay, so I clicked on the link for the website, and now I'm going to hit next here. Alrighty, I'm not activating, registering my software, so I'm just going to hit activate later for the sake of time. Okay. Now, if you are filing a new return, you would hit start a new return. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a few of those screens, and I'm going to back up here and just show you from a return I've already created so that the time will go by faster here. Okay. So start a return. Okay. You're going to browse if you have a previous tax return and you want to import that information in. For the sake of this video, we're going to hit skip. No, you're not going to be importing any financial data unless you plan to. You will hit next. And now it will ask you if you've served in the military, and you would hit that box, and it will walk you through the necessary screens that you would need. But again, for the sake of this video, we're going to hit next. Alrighty. So the software asks you a few questions regarding your personal changes that has occurred within that tax year. This helps the software tailor the questions to your particular situation. For the sake of time, I'm not going to click on any of these things. Didn't get married, didn't have a baby, didn't lose a job. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit next here. So now on this screen, you're going to decide what filing status you are. If you do not know what filing status you are, you can click on the link and it will tell you whether or not you fall within this category. Okay. Single, of course, is someone who doesn't have any children, who's just them and their job, and you will hit single. Married, of course, is you're married and you want to file together. But then you also have the option to hit married filing separately. If you are married and do not want to file with your spouse for whatever reason, maybe they owe taxes, maybe, you guys are just not ready to file together, you can hit married filing separately. And that will not hurt you. If you are an individual who may be married, but your spouse isn't working, and so they're technically a dependent, and you have other children that are dependents, you would hit head of household. Or you can be a qualifying widower. Now, again, you click on these links, and it'll tell you whether or not you fall within this category. If you are unsure, you can hit guide me, and it will guide you through the process. Alrighty. Alrighty. Now, what I'm going to do, this is the next screen that you would get to, that you will put in all of your information, your social security, date of birth, your spouse's information as well, if you are married. But for the sake of time, I'm going to go to one that I've already filed in order to go faster on this video. Bear with me here. So we're going to go. Oh, let me go ahead and just close out of it. No, you don't want to save it. It'll make it easier for me to just close out of it, guys. Alrighty, so here we are at the beginning again, and I'm going to hit activate later. Okay. Now, I'm just going to go, and this is also a learning point here, guys. If you're not starting a new return, and maybe you have an old return that you want to open and finish, or open and edit, it will be down here in this box. All of them will end up being at the bottom here. Now, let me also note, update. You always want to update because sometimes there are some tax forms that come out later on in the tax season that are not updated within this program. So you want to make sure you hit update every time that you go in. Okay. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and open up this return for Jackie McNeil. Of course, none of this information is the true information. Okay, it is just for the sake of time. So now you see it opened me where we left off. However, for the sake of the tutorial, I wanted you to show you how I put in this information. So up here, you see you have tabs that'll take you to the different situations. So right now, or different stages. So you would hit personal information. I'm going to go ahead and go to the personal information and walk you guys through that. Alrighty, remember I said we didn't do any of this stuff. We didn't get married and have a baby. Gonna hit next. For this return, I'm hitting head of household. Okay, that is a person that has dependents, who is the only working person in the house, or the only person that's not making over, the only person that's making over $4,500 a year. Okay, so you go ahead and put in the demographic information, name, address, phone number, and then you would hit next. You don't have to put in your email address or your mobile number unless you want to. Alrighty. And then if you are filing a state return, you need to put in your state and choose your residency and hit next, and it will walk you through your state return. For the sake of time, I'm in Florida, so we don't have state tax, so I'm not going to go through that screen. And ignore this negative $11 over here. I know you guys might be looking. That's only because I started to put the information in. Okay, so here we go. Okay, and they want you to confirm this information is correct. You confirm that, and you hit next. Alrighty, we're going to skip the state and local income tax screens as I stated before. Hit next. Okay, so special situations. You are to tell if you was a full-time student, are you disabled, or if any of these boxes pertain to you, you would click them. And if you want to learn more about them, you click on learn more. For the sake of this, we're skipping and skipping and skipping. Okay, so here we are, head of household. This is where you would enter your dependent information. It's pretty much asking you what made you dependent. What made you head of household. Either you had a dependent, or the child isn't a dependent, but you took care of them for the year. Okay, then you hit next. Alrighty, were you married? And I'm putting no. And here is where you would add your information. I've already added this child here, Gabrielle White, but if you need to add another one, or maybe you just want to see how to add it, you would click here and click on add, and you would put in the information pertaining to that child. Okay, and here I'm going to just hit back because I didn't. As you can see, it saved that line. All you have to do is hit delete right here, and it's gone like magic. Alrighty, next, they're telling you to make sure you have this information at hand. This is income information, whether you got a W-2, whether you got interest from a bank, dividends, retirement, etc. Okay, and this is just telling you how to get started. You can read over that if you like. Alrighty, so here I'm just hitting wages from a job. If you had wages from a job and you had unemployment, plus you had interest income and you had dividends, and you had received a state and local income tax refund, and you would put that here. For the sake of time, I am not going to check all of that because I don't want it to walk us through all of those screens. I'm just going to hit what pertains to us, which is wages from a job. Alrighty, here you see I've already added. That was where I left off on this return. And so I've put in some information and now I want to just edit it. But before I do that, if you're just starting, you can hit add W-2 and you would put in the information accordingly. But I'm going to go ahead and hit edit. And here we go. That this automatically populated from our personal screen with the name and address, sorry. And this is the employer identification number they're asking you for. This is found on your W-2. Generally, it's found up under the address of the company. And it's in this format, okay? With the 2 numbers in the front dash, and it gives you a number. Then you put in the name of the company, the address, and you hit next. Now, you will put in your wages, your federal withholdings, and note that the numbers on this form correspond to the numbers on your W-2 form. So box 1 would have wages, 30,000. It might not say wages, but it will have that. In that number 1 box is what you're going to put right here. Okay, your number 2 box, your number 3 box, exactly the way you see it on your tax return. And note that the software rounds. So if I put 1456.9, I'm sorry, 1456.9, because that's what's on the W-2, it is going to round it to 157. Okay, and that's okay. And if it was 0.3, bear with me here, if it was 1456.3, it's going to drop it. Okay. All righty. So you put, if you had something in box 7, a number, that's what you would put here. But for this return, because most returns, W-2s do not have anything in these boxes unless you're special, and that's okay. And if you are, make sure you put the numbers in the corresponding box. Okay. So, and then if you have anything in boxes 12 through 12H, like health insurance, it'll give you a letter and you will click that particular letter and you will put in the information accordingly. For this return, you're just going to skip that. Alrighty, then you will go to your box 13. Are any of these checked? You would check them if they're checked. Box 14, box 15 through 20, and so forth. Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and hit next. This video is lasting a little bit longer than I would like. So I'm going to talk a little bit faster. And I can talk really fast, guys. Laugh out loud. Anyway, this screen right here asks if it was a non-standard or was it a corrected W-2. And on the W-2, if that box is checked, then you would check the corresponding box here. Most of them will not have any of these, so you can just hit next. Alrighty, if you have another job or another W-2 you would like to add, you would just hit add and put in the information. But for this return, we only got one W-2 here. So we're going to go ahead and delete that line just like we did on that other screen. Okay, delete. Alrighty, there we go. Now we are finished with this topic. So we're going to hit finish. Now, as you can see, what I put in is from the information I put in, it's already showing that I owe $11. Well, of course, everybody wants a refund. So we got to continue to go through the screens in order to see what we're going to get. This right here is not your final number. Do not get scared. Do not get scared. Don't be scared. As you continue to go through the return, it will change. Now, if it doesn't change, be a little scared, just a little bit. Okay, so on this screen, this is where we're talking about a business. Now, if you do not have a business, you will not check anything on this box on the screen. You would hit next, and you would go to the next screen, okay? And they will talk about investment income, and it'll ask you if you have any of these things. But let's back up for the business people, all of my business people. Here we go. If you own a business, you would check this box, and then you will hit next. Alrighty, now you need to add your business. Alrighty. What's your business name? If you have a business name. Some people don't have a business name. Maybe you just do cleaning and you do that as a business and you don't actually have an official name. You don't have to put any here. That's why it says business name, if any. However, if you have a business name, then you will put your business name. I'm just making up something. Capital Motors, and it puts the address from your personal address, but you can change that if you actually have a different location. It asks you for your business description. So what do you do? I'm just gonna say fix cars. All right. Then you look at here and see if you can find your business category. Let's see. Here. See if we can find it. Repairs and maintenance. You can click that. But if you can't find it and there's no description, you can just put other. Okay. Then I'll ask you for a business code. If it doesn't fall up under any of these, then you hit unable to classify. Alrighty. If you have a tax ID number or EIN, employee identification number, you will put that here. If you do not, don't worry about it. Do not put your social right there. Okay. So if you had one, it would look something like this. If you did not have one, it would be blank. So let's move on and say that we don't have one. Alrighty, so they will ask you some questions. Did you start the business this year? Did you have inventory? If you had employees, made payments through a 1099, maybe you have contract workers, maybe you're a minister. For the sake of this return, we're just going to put that I acquired this business in 2016. If you did not, you do not check that box. Now, accounting method. Your typical accounting method is going to be cash accounting. If you did not use cash, and I mean, even if you use credit card machines and so forth, you still check that box, okay? That's just the title. Alrighty. So it says small business eligible for cash method. You are eligible if your business sells merchandise. Your business has annual gross receipts of less than 1 million. Okay, so I know I didn't make $1 million, and if you did, then you got a CPA doing your taxes. So I'm just gonna say yes, we fall within this range, this category, and we will hit next. Alrighty, we're gonna hit most common. It says most small owners materially participate in their business, and you are participating in your business. So we're gonna hit yes. Alrighty, now we're gonna hit next. We're gonna tell them about our business, which the title is Capital Motors. You will not generally put anything in the 1099 miscellaneous. That's generally if you received for your services a 1099. Like say for instance, your business is contracted at a school and you do cleaning. Then they are going to give you a 1099 and you would have to include that here as your income. Okay, so if your business is contracted with some company and they send your business a 1099, you would need to go here and fill out the information. Okay, it's almost like the W-2 form. We're going to go out of here for the sake of time. We're not going to say we had any of that. We're going to hit finish and go to the next topic. We're not going to do the 1099K. We're going to hit finish and go to the next topic. Now, it asks about total receipts and sales. What were your total sales? How much did you bring in for the year? I'm just going to put, for the sake of time, I'm just going to put $5,000. That's what my business did. It's a side hustle. We're not making a whole lot of money. Blah, blah, blah. Other business income, did it get like if you're a shred business, then you might have received money or proceeds from recycling the paper that you shredded. Then that would be other business income. Okay, for the sake of this, we're going to say no. Now, did you have any returns? Did someone want their money back? Let's say, yeah, I had someone, they didn't want me to fix their car anymore. I had to get them $100 back. You would put it there. Okay, and then that shows your real income. Gross income was $4,900. Okay. Alrighty. So now to the fun part: writing down your expenses for the business. Business has expenses. I'm just hitting next on those screens. I'm sorry about that. Let me go back some. Okay, it took me all the way back. Bear with me. Let's go. Here we go. Alrighty, Capital Motors business expenses. You have your home office, your car and truck expenses, depreciation of property like computers, furniture. It'll give you a full description if you click on these things. But for the sake of us, we're gonna hit next. Alrighty, as you can see already, that has put me owing $1,383. That's before I put my expenses in there now. Because they're just looking at raw income on this software at this point, but we got to put our expenses in. So let's hit next and put our expenses in here. Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and add our home office. You have an office at your house that you are working out of, and you need to write that off. Okay, so my home office. Let me hit next. You can hit guide me. It will guide you through the whole thing. For the sake of this, and because I know how to do it, I'm just going to hit home office qualifies. Okay. Do you own or rent your house? I'm going to put own. Then it gives you some descriptions about the square footage and so forth. It says, what do you want to do? You have to make a decision whether you want to claim actual expenses or use the safe harbor. I'm going to do claim actual expenses. That's the better way to go. Okay, and it asks you, was it a daycare or so forth? If it was not, you hit no. If it was, you hit yes. See how easy this thing is getting, guys? It will walk you through. All you have to do is read. Alrighty, so I'm going to say my house is 1,400 square feet and my office space is about 200 square feet. And then I'm going to hit next. How much of your income is owned in the house? Now, if you have an eBay business and you're always in your office and that's where you make your money, then you put 100%. If you are leaving the house and you're cutting grass or fixing a car or something like that, then you know that you're not making 100% of your income in that house. So that means that you will have to estimate what's the percentage. Let's say I earn about 30% because that's where I do my invoicing and talking to clients and stuff like that. So I'll say 30%. Now here you can put in the entire amount of your real estate taxes for your home, your cleaning fees. If you own your home and you pay taxes, if you rent your home, you would it would spit out different questions for you. But remember, on a few screens ago, we put that we own our home. Okay, so you can go in and put, for your, it's easier to do it for your entire house because you'll have your paper in front of you that tells you how much you spent on real estate taxes. Let's just say I spent $1,000 on real estate taxes. My homeowner's insurance is about, let's say, $300. Maintenance and repairs, man, I had to buy a whole new screen door, for my office, and it cost me $1,200. Alrighty, cleaning fees. I had to pay someone to come in and clean my house. Clean my house and my office space, and so that means that for the whole house it costs $300. Cool. And any of these other things, if you stay in a snowy area, anything that pertains to you. Okay. Alrighty, so it says we've used 143 of your real estate taxes as a business expense. You might be able to claim the rest as an itemized deduction. Most common is no, so we're going to say no, we're not going to itemize that office. Okay, we'll include 857 in real estate taxes automatically with your other itemized deductions. Awesome. Let's keep it moving. Any casualties or losses for this, we're going to say no. Home office depreciation. For the sake of time, I'm going to say no on that. Okay, so for my office, the deduction is approximately $400. Okay, and as you see, that of course affects how much I owe, and it goes down from there. Now we continue on with our expenses. Now it's time to add a vehicle. Let me tell you that putting in mileage and keeping track of your mileage is so much better than trying to use actual gas receipts. It's not nearly as beneficial as putting in your mileage. Okay, so they want a description. I just put in Honda Accord, date, place, and service. Since I just started last year, remember that's what I said. I put in 2016. If you started years before, you put in the appropriate date. Remember, it was in service 12 months out of the year. This vehicle is not for hire. Now, if you are a taxi driver or you're an Uber driver, then you would check this box. Okay. Okay, and did you own or lease the vehicle? I'm just going to say owned. Sorry about my pop-ups, guys. Let's hit next. Alrighty, personal vehicle started using for business in 2016. I'm saying yes because remember I started the business in 2016. Stop using the vehicle for business. I didn't do that. Use this vehicle primarily outside the United States. That doesn't include me. Own 5 other vehicles. I did not own the 5 other vehicles, so I'm not going to check that. Let's hit next. All right, do you have personal mileage records for this vehicle? Yes, I do. I make sure I write down all my mileage. That is important, guys. Make sure if you're claiming this deduction, you have written down all of your mileage. So total miles driven for the year, I'm going to say 25,000. 25,000. And miles driven for the business out of the 25,000, I'm going to say about 4,000. Okay, and I'm not going to be guessing this going, when I'm really doing this, guys. This is stuff that I've written down. So then we will hit next. Okay, reporting your expenses. You can either get to guide you or you can just hit next and put in your information. We're going to do standard mileage, which is generally what you want to check. Standard mileage. Alrighty. If you had any interest on your loans for your car, any garage that you had to pay or tolls, you would put that in accordingly. For this, we're not going to do that. All right. Was your vehicle available for personal use? Yes, it was. If yours was not and it is solely used for the business, you would not check that. Vehicle used primarily by person who's more than 5%. Yep, I'm more than 5% owner. Have another vehicle for personal use? I sure do. Have evidence? Yep, and I have it written down. Perfect. You would hit next. And voila, your total deduction for the vehicle usage, the standard mileage method, is $2,160. Do you see how what I owe has decreased because of the expenses that I am putting in? Okay, just want to make sure you guys saw that. Alrighty, then you hit finish. Now, if you want to add computers, copiers, and property, you can go ahead and add that here. For the sake of time, because this video is almost 30 minutes, I'm going to skip. Sorry, guys. It takes about 30 minutes to do a return, and I apologize for how long this video is. If you have advertising expense, I am going to go ahead and do that. Maybe you paid somebody to help you, or you had to rent equipment. You need to check that. Insurance payments, legal fees, anything that pertains to you. Meals and entertainment. You had clients that you had to entertain. And I'm gonna go ahead and put those in really quickly because we gotta get this thing going. Advertising, I'm just gonna say we spent $300 on advertisement. Contract labor, I paid Bobo to come out and help me to fix these cars, and I pay him $600 for the year. Come on. Okay, rental and lease. I had to rent, a mechanic machine, and it cost me $500 this year. Okay, now meals and entertainment. All right, I have to take some clients out to show them the new method of mechanic work I'll be doing in order to earn their business. And I went and I took them to Bonefish, and I spent $300 on that. Okay. Now, if you want to put in these other categories, you need to read and see if they fall within the line of things. I'm gonna hit 300 and hit skip. Alrighty, it shows you $4,710 of general business expenses that I'm going to be able to write off. And I'm going to hit next. Now, did either of these apply? Participate in a business transaction that is reportable at tax shelter, or investments in this business isn't all at risk. If that pertains to you, you check it. If it does not, you skip it. Okay. And I have written down my business. I have put it in there, and I have written down all of my expenses. And as you can see, I'm back at those $11. All righty, let's keep going. Now, at risk limitations, you will read through that. If that pertains to you, you would fill that out. If not, you would skip and just hit finish this line of questioning. Now, if you had investment income, you would need to put in the check these boxes and it will walk you through that interview. Okay, if it does not pertain to you, it won't walk you through the interview. So we're going to hit skip on that. So we hit next. There we go. All right, if you had any capital losses or carryover, you would go through that interview. For the sake of this, we're going to hit no. If you had any retirement income, annuity, Social Security, you would check the boxes and it will walk you through the interview. But you see, guys, pretty much, I'm going to just skip through these screens and say that none of this stuff applies. And I'm going to get over to the credits to help those ones really quick that have dependents. Okay, here we have to put no. Did you have any foreign accounts? Okay, and up here, instead of hitting next, I'm just going to go over to the credits, guys. But you can go through all of the screens. It will walk you through them, see if they apply to your situation. You will check the boxes and it will walk you through the interview. Okay, so now we are on credits. You can start from the top and you can go through all of the credits. For the sake of time, I'm just going to go through the child and the not even the child and dependent care credit. Like if you have child care expenses, you can put it here. Adoption, education. Okay, a lot of people do the 1098T because they're in school. You would do that interview. We're going to hit the earned income credit that I know a lot of people receive. So here we go. Have at least one qualifying child. Alrighty, and then we're going to hit next. Alrighty, are you a qualifying child for another taxpayer? No, I'm not. I'm grown. Can't nobody claim me. Okay. First qualifying child, their names are going to appear in this drop down box because remember in the beginning we filled out our dependents, right? So let's go ahead and click our dependent. It's going to walk us through the interview. All of the information populates except the date of birth. And then you will also put the relationship to the child. Are you the parent? I'm sorry, daughter or son. Hit next. Okay, number of months. They stay with me all year. And that's, I would get the whole credit because they stay with me all year. If they didn't, you would put in 6 months. Is there another person who might be able to claim this child? Nope, nobody else can claim this child. That's her information. I hit next. Then you can add another child at this point if you have another one and you go down through the same process. But for sake of time, I'm going to hit finish topic and say I only have one child. And my earned income credit is what? $1,482. I am now receiving $1,471 in a refund. Alrighty. Now, if you have any other credits, you make sure you go through every one of these credits. So the credits are what's going to give you, your added to your refund. Deductions bring down your adjusted gross income. It makes your tax liability less. Not necessarily giving you more money as a refund. You have to go in here, look around at the numbers, see what you have going on, and see what's the best scenario for you. But you have to make sure that you go through these things. Let me explain this, guys, really quickly. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to hit finish and just say you're done. And then it'll go through an accuracy check. Okay. I'll hit next. And it'll tell me, what my issues are. It says I have 2 issues. Address these items before filing your return, and then some verifications. You hit continue. It says you haven't told us about your health care coverage. Okay. We know that because of Obamacare, we have to have health care coverage. And so that was a screen I skipped. So it's going to tell me, hey, you're missing this information. Something's not right. It's also telling me that my FICA information, my Social Security information is wrong. I made up these numbers. That's why they don't make sense to the system. So this system tells you when you're wrong. A lot of the information, if it does not make sense to the embedded tax software, in this software, then it's going to spit it back out and give you, check for these errors. Okay. Why pay somebody the money to do this when you can do it yourself, and you can make sure that you're hitting every point and getting all your deductions and all of your credits? That's all I'm going to say, guys. Thank you for your time. Have a good one.